Welcome, Nomads, to Nomad News. I'm your host, the American Nomad, Rav Hawley. Let's get right into the news.
This episode is for Wednesday, July 14th, 2021. This is going to be a special episode, or a new format I'm working on, and we're going to be calling it Nomad Women Wednesday, where we're only featuring female nomads. So with that being said, let's jump into our first channel. This first channel is a young lady. She's basically she's into veganism, travel, minimalism, and self-love. You know, she's a young millennial or a young Gen Zer, and so she's on that minimalistic lifestyle, which a lot of the younger generation are. And she is a solo traveler named Chantel. Her channel is called My Basic Journey, and she's got 19,500 subscribers. Unfortunately, she had a little bit of a scare here a couple of days ago. And this is July the 11th, so a couple of days ago. So I thought we'd jump in and share what happened with her, and maybe it can be a warning for other female nomads out there, or anybody actually. This story could apply to anyone. This could happen to pretty much anyone. Doesn't have to be, you don't have to be any specific gender to have this kind of unlucky luck, which is kind of be my luck.
On my way to the spot, and there was a point where the road turned to gravel and it started to go up a hill on a curve, and it was a pretty steep hill, but nothing that my van hasn't done before, so I wasn't worried about it at all. I thought I would be able to make it up just fine, and so that's what I was doing. I was going up this curvy steep hill until I wasn't anymore, and I felt my van start to slip backwards, and I started panicking immediately because it felt like I lost complete control of my van and I was just sliding backwards. And so I was trying to press on the gas to get me to go forward, but it just kind of dug up the gravel below me. And when I pressed on the brake, I just slid backwards. And so I was kind of like in a pickle at this moment and panicking. So I tried to slow down and step on the brake, and I felt the back of my tires go off the side of the road. And like I told you guys, I was up a steep hill that was curvy, and so the side of the road is just this steep embankment with nothing below it besides trees and a freaking swamp. And so I felt the back of my tires go off, and I'm like pressing as hard on my brakes as I can at this point just to try to get me to stop moving, because I was just sliding out of control and I could not do anything about it. And so I was just kind of stuck there. I had two of my back tires off of the back of this thing, and I felt my van was like, and so I was kind of just stuck there with two of my front tires in the front, like on the road, like barely, and then my back two tires were down this steep ass embankment. It was so scary. I was like freaking out. Luckily, this old man happened to be driving down this road at the same time. Like, it wasn't even a full minute before he turned the corner and he saw me, and so I waved him down. I probably wouldn't have had to, because he could have easily seen that I was about to fall off the road, but he did stop and waited for the cop to get there and get a tow there. In this moment, I was freaking out so much that I completely forgot that I have AAA, and I could have totally just called AAA and gotten a free tow out of there. But when the old man told me call 911, I didn't really think much into it and just did what he told me to do. And I handed him Joey. I was like, please take my dog. And so I handed him Joey, and he was like holding on to Joey outside of my van, and I didn't want to let go, because if I had let go and got out of my car, he kept trying to get me to get out of the car. But if I did that, I would have lost everything, and there was a good chance that my van probably would not have made it from the fall. It probably would have done too much damage to be saved, so I was like holding on for dear frickin' life. It only took about 10 minutes for a cop to show up with a tow, and they were easily able to get me off the side of the road. But that was definitely the scariest moment that I've ever had in my life. You can imagine why I didn't film a lot of it, because my adrenaline and my anxiety was just so high that I did not even think, hey, I should pick up my phone and record this for YouTube. But I did try to get a little bit of it, at least the end of it, when I was about to be saved. But yeah, that was the scariest moment I've had on the road so far. And we're coming on to a year now. Next week, we're at the end of May. So by next week, I will be in my van for a year, which is...
All right. She is a very, very, very lucky young lady that she was able to, at the very edge, it sounds like her back tires were already over the edge, off the road, headed down the embankment, and it sounded like it was a pretty steep incline. She's very, very lucky. I think she realizes how lucky she is, but she's very, very, very lucky that she did not go over the side of that embankment and down into the creek or whatever she said was down there. I think she said it was a creek. I've never really heard of that happening. It's got to be, you know, the gravel on the road and the steep embankment. Usually an automobile can climb a lot of things that you don't think they can climb. I used to be in when I lived in Texas, I was in part of a Texas Land Rover club, and we built Land Rover Discoveries and Range Rovers into being capable off-road vehicles like a Jeep. And I've climbed some stuff in Land Rovers that you literally wouldn't think was possible, and went over boulders as big as Volkswagens and everything else. So that would be my worst nightmare as well. And you'd want to jump out, but she's got her dog in there. And, you know, the difference between it just being a vehicle for us nomads, it's our house. If she had let that thing go over the cliff or over, you know, off the embankment, and she had jumped out, grabbed her dog and jumped out, she loses everything. She loses her house. She loses everything. So very scary moment for her, for Chantel. And I'm really, really happy that, it worked out. She's paid $140 for a tow to get her out of there, and she had AAA. She could have got a free one, but in the panic, in the commotion, and she wasn't thinking straight, the cop ended up calling or the police officer ended up calling a tow for her to get her out. $140. I think she got out very lucky, even though she could have got a free tow. She might have had to wait a long time on AAA, and the police officer was able to get her a tow truck out there immediately, and in an emergency situation, and get her off that embankment and save her van. So thank goodness you're good there, Chantel. We are all happy you're okay, and your van's okay, and your puppy's okay. Anyway, guys, on to our next story. All right, our next story here is going to be a young lady who is a van lifer up in Canada, and she is living in a Ford cargo van. If I'm not mistaken, I've actually seen her on Chrome's channel. Leave a comment down below. Let me know if I'm mistaken there. I believe I've seen her featured on Chrome's channel. I think she knows Chrome. She's up in Canada. She's a female solo van lifer up there in a do-it-yourself van, just like Chrome has from Van City Van Life. And her channel is called The Cat Lady Van. Her name's Ellie, is that right? Emmy. Her name is Emmy. Emma, M-E-M-I. And she has 21,700 subscribers. And she's living in a DIY van. So she's done it all herself, building it out. And her latest video, she's basically just letting you know that it's a lot of work, and it's a never ending deal when you're building it out yourself. You're always, any RV or anything you're living in, you're going to be continuously having to repair stuff. So, and a DIY, that is definitely something you're going to be doing all the time, is repairing and fixing stuff. And, you know, it's just one of those things that you have to contend with. But anyway, she's going to be putting some trim on, and I thought we'd jump in and see what she's doing, what she's up to.
So yesterday I went at the hardware store to get one of those trim, and I'm gonna put that along here between my front floor and the wood, the plywood, sorry. Because I'm gonna show you, I have like, it's getting a mess there. So this is the main problem. Sorry, it is a mess, but yeah, there you go. This is why I have problem, because cat hair, poo, cat hair ball is always here. So I want to put the trim that's gonna fix all that section. and I got myself to vacuum. Nothing special, just a little house vacuum. I was trying to see the smaller one, and it seems that the smaller ones was the cheaper one, so whatever. Hopefully it's gonna last me a little bit. But yeah, I was always thinking about getting a vacuum, a little vacuum for the van. I've been just dealing with the broom, but with the cat, I used to be a janitor, and I was using the vacuum once in a while to clean the van. But now that I'm on the road and I don't have that job anymore, I don't like those big like vacuum that you have at the car wash, all those places, because they make a lot of noise and get you scared and all that. And obviously, like when you want to do like everyday type of, I'm gonna try that out.
All right, so she's getting some vacuuming done with her new little vacuum there. And just a little info or a little advice. If you're getting into van life, or if you're going to be living in your vehicle, one of those little handheld vacuums is going to be your best friend. And a little dustpan broom with a little broom that fits into the dustpan, that it holds it. Those are going to be your best friends, because the dustpan comes in handy because you don't always want to get out the little vacuum and vacuum everything up. And sometimes you can just grab the dustpan. I used to keep mine right in this little shelf thing beside the toilet in the bathroom in Bertha. And now in the Snap-on truck, it hangs up in the back door. So just a little dustpan with one of those little short brooms, best friend. And then this thing for a little bit more pickup if you have more things to pick up. All right. And on to our next story. All right, one of the things I've found as a challenge since I've come back here to Nomad News is a lot of the ladies that I used to keep up with have just kind of faded out of van life. They're actually no longer doesn't look like they're in the van life community anymore, or they're just not doing YouTube because their channels have went pretty dormant. They're just taking a break, or they may be back, just a lot of times people get in, they stay in, they think the YouTube thing's going to be a really easy way for them to make money and travel. And when they realize it's a lot harder than it looks, and editing can get old really quick, they fade out pretty quick. So it's kind of frustrating for those of us that do it and have done it, like CVK, Campervan Kevin, those of us that, that are nomadic fanatic. I mean, it's really not frustrating because it's, they're gone, like whatever, less competition, I guess, but it's just kind of weird because you see them come in and, they make a big splash and then they're gone. So anyway, I'll give you an example of that, exactly what I'm talking about. So this next channel here, Wild by the Mile, Liz, what was her name? Liz Bryant, I think. Let's see if we can pull it up. Yeah, Liz Bryant. I saw her when she very first come into the van life community, and she made a huge splash because she was down in San Diego, and she has a professional journalism background. She was actually an on-air reporter in San Diego. So when she came into van life, it was, like a local San Diego celebrity that's, all of a sudden a van lifer. So she was on the news. Like I said, she made a huge splash. And then probably about, 6 months ago or so, it looks like, 7 months, and she's uploaded. Let's see her last van life video. She's traveling and stuff around, but I don't see any van life stuff here 2 years ago. A year ago, here we go. So about a year ago, what I've been doing since selling the van. Yeah, she sold the van, selling the van a year ago. So yeah, she jumped in, overnight success, 131,000 subscribers, which I I would this. How many of us would just absolutely love to have 131,000 subscribers? And she basically just pieced out. She said, "I'm out," and she's doing something else. So, you know, but she's probably got other means and making good money somewhere else. But anyway, I just wanted to kind of touch on that, you know, they come and go like the wind in the Nomad community. But anyway, the next channel we're going to jump into is this Enjoy the Journey. This is a new Nomad. She's new, but she's not new. She's been around she's been van lifing evidently for 4 years, and she's part-time. She's not full-time. She spends part of her time in Costa Rica, and when she does, she rents out her van. But she just kind of started this YouTube channel, and she's only got 3 videos on here from 1 week ago. She's got 3 videos and kind of introducing herself. She's already up to 988 subscribers, so she'll hit that 1,000 to get monetized in no time. And I've got friends of mine out there, like my buddy Random Nomad, who's, you know, people that have been doing YouTube for a long time, and they've never hit that 1,000 sub threshold. But anyway, you know, the pretty ladies. Anyway, let's jump into her first video here and kind of get a feel for what she's up to and what she's doing.
Hey guys, what's up? I'm Tiffany. This is my first YouTube video, and behind the camera we got Jaylena of Leave Her Wild. You're gonna hear a little bit of background noise from our boys over there. We got Brandon and Isaac of Schooliana doing their 30-day bus build. I think they're on day 5. So if you haven't seen that, I would check it out because it's pretty exciting around here if you can't tell. So let's give you a tour of the van. I go by, my name is Tiffany Mayer, and this van is Roads and Rows. I've been doing van life for 4 years, since 2018. And I'm part-time, so sometimes I'm here in the PNW doing the van life thing, and then other times I'm in Costa Rica doing hair and acupuncture. I've been there for 7 months, but when I'm gone, I like to rent out my van, so she's personable, and when I'm away, she kind of takes care of other people and allows them to enjoy the journey, and I really love being able to be a part of that. This is a party deck, right? So this is the van. First things first, I'll get to one of the first questions I usually get, which is, where do you go to the restroom? I will ruin the surprise. I am sitting on it. It isn't just a cube seat, but it is a Nature's Head toilet that rolls out. I haven't used both parts. I've only used this part, which is for the liquids. It separates your solids and liquids, and they say that you can keep the solids for up to 6 months without stink, and it has this composting mixture that you twirl around every time that you utilize it. You also use white vinegar and water to spray it down, so if you're worried about scents, because I am a scent-oriented person, and you have something to spray it down with. Over here, we have the double gas burner, runs off of 5-gallon propane. That lasts for like a very long time, at least a year. I don't use it every day because I'm not full-time. And then we have a Dometic refrigerator, and it has a freezer and regular fridge, and it stays pretty darn cold. We just made it through a heat wave. That was the first time that I saw it struggle a little bit, but it got to 116 degrees, so it's not something that typically has any problems.
All right, guys. So there you go. So if you want to check out her channel, head on over there. It's Enjoy the Journey. She's got, like I said, again, 988 subscribers. So head over there and check out Tiffany's channel, and be sure to tell her that Nomad News sent you. All right, guys, on to our next story. All right, that is going to bring us to our last female solo nomad for this episode of Nomad Women Wednesdays. And this next young lady has actually been featured a couple of months ago. She had a van life tour that was featured on Tiny Home Tours. So we're going to look, I wanted to bring up her tour, because if you want to see a tour of her rig, which is a Chevy van, conversion van, if you'd like to see a tour, they did a tour on Tiny Home Tours. My buddy Chris Penn, who owns Tiny Home Tours, I'm sure you're all familiar with Tiny Home Tours. My buddy Chris Penn, that's actually his channel, He also owns the Off-Grid Schoolie, but they actually do great rig tours. So I thought we'd jump into her rig tour on Tiny Home Tours, and then we'll jump back over to her channel.
Hi, my name is Bev. I'm 58 years old. I currently live in my 2004 Chevy Express 1500 van. I've been living in it since November of 2020 and traveling around the country, and I'd love to take you inside and show you around.
All right, so if you want to see her van tour, you can jump over to Tiny Home Tours and find her. But her channel over here is called Becoming Bev. She's got 10,800 subscribers, and she's been having a rough time of it. Everybody thinks that van life is all, you know, it's just all peaches and cream and roses. And, you know, sometimes, you know, it's like anything else in life. It can be a struggle. So she's been having some, you know, some van life difficulties, which happens. Like this video here, she features her mom in it, who is actually elderly. I think she said she's 76, 78, somewhere up in there. And she wanted a van. She gets her van catches on fire. So anyway, she's been having a hard time of it, but we're going to jump into her video here and her last video on her channel.
Hello, welcome to my channel, Becoming Bev. Many of you know I kind of had a rough month last month. This month is looking much better. Turns out it was just what I needed to spend some time at the campground with my friends Yvonne, Mo, and Christine. You may remember Mo from one of my videos. Mo had a double lung transplant. She's doing great. She just celebrated her 1-year anniversary of receiving her lung transplant. And she's just one of those people you just can't help but laugh when you're around her.
Hi. My name's William, and I'm a wide-mouthed frog. What's your name, little one? I'm Sammy, Sammy the Snake. What do you eat, Sammy the Snake? I eat wide-mouthed frogs. No shit. Perfect. My squirrel came in. I thought something jumped.
So, Mo, what's up with the double mask?
I need them.
Mo, I love you. Thank you so much for your quirky, zany sense of humor. We laughed until our faces and our stomach hurt. Like, there's nothing better than that. Now, Mo is always full of shenanigans. The morning that we left the campground, she was headed to Dick's to look for a kayak. And later on that day, I noticed on her Facebook she was kayaking in her friend's swimming pool while they were out of town. I'd like to share a little note that I got from one of my viewers, Heather. It's a little long, but hang in there. It's really a beautiful story.
All right, so there you go. If you want to go check out Bev's channel, head over to check out Bev's channel on Becoming Bev, and I will, as all the other channels, link it down in the description below if you'd like to stop by, check Bev out, and watch the rest of her video and listen to what she had. Listen to her read her subscribers' note. All right, guys. Well, I hope you enjoyed this edition of Nomad Women Wednesday. I don't know if we'll continue this. We'll see. Let me know in the comments if you like this format of just having just one episode a week of just ladies. I don't know if there's enough lady nomads out there for me to search out to have one every Wednesday every week. So, but maybe once a month we'll do this or something. We'll see. I'm just going to play it by ear and see how it works. But you know, it was kind of an idea because I kind of like to feature the ladies that maybe nobody, you know, has heard of yet and nobody really knows about. You know, most of the ladies don't need my help at all. They're, you know, like if you're looking at like Unstoppable Morgan, who I was like one of her first 10,000 subscribers, and now she's, you know, YouTube royalty like Nomadic Fanatic, you know. You know how that goes. Anyway, guys, that is going to do it for this episode of Nomad News. Thank you so much, guys, for tuning in. If you enjoyed this video, if you'd do me a favor and hit that subscribe button and become a subscriber, I would really appreciate it. And even more if you'd hit that thumbs up and give us a thumbs up, because giving that thumbs up, it doesn't cost you anything, but it does help us in the YouTube algorithm. Leave us a comment. Let us know what you thought of the video. And remember, guys, Everything you've ever wanted is sitting right on the other side of fear.